What's up, people? Welcome to my show where I bring in different people from different backgrounds to showcase their talents and specialties to the world. Today, I have with me a wonderful person who used to go to this school and now she's back here to revisit memories. So let's give it up for Miss Alana Morgan.
Thank you so much for having me. It feels so good to be back. Like you said, KBEV has done a lot for me. It was a platform for me, so it really means a lot to be back here.
And I'm just curious, what got you interested in what it is you're doing right now?
So I always loved being on camera. I never thought I would get into journalism, but I always loved being on camera. And I remember coming to an open house, and my mom saw KBEV. She saw the producers running around with cameras, and I was like, that's right up my alley. And so we talked to Mr. Carey, and Mr. Carey has been so amazing and supportive from the start. I joined Advanced KBEV my freshman year, and the rest was history.
Wow.
So it kind of got my start into journalism.
And even before that, like middle school, elementary school.
See, that's the thing. Middle school and elementary school, I never did anything journalism related. I'm an actress, so I did a lot of like on-camera television stuff, but never anything in relation to journalism, just like a lot of on-camera work.
And you talked about being an actress. Now, what got you interested in that?
I was born in Bethesda, Maryland. I always loved being in front of the camera. I started off modeling, I did acting. And what really got me interested in it was like my role model, Zendaya. No one loves Zendaya. But she really inspired me to want to continue in acting and everything in that area. So we moved from Maryland here to Beverly Hills, California, because California, Los Angeles, everything is known for like the lights, camera, action, and I just really came here to pursue it, and that kind of just led to everything else.
It's funny you talk about that because my mom has done some acting as well.
Oh, really?
And she got me into it as well. So
really?
I have done some acting when I was a lot younger.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was thinking, this really isn't for me. And then now I'm in KBEV and I'm thinking I would like to do something maybe related to the entertainment industry and especially journalism, just not acting where I have to say these lines or like I have to be a different person. Like I'd want to be like Oprah Winfrey, who has her own talk show.
I love Oprah Winfrey. It's funny you said that. I do pageants as well, so I've mentioned Oprah Winfrey before, and so she has a long history within journalism. But I definitely think like you keep going with your love for journalism and everything, you're gonna succeed.
And pageants. So what got you interested in pageants?
So my mom and my grandmother, growing up, they would always watch pageants on TV. Around that time, they would watch Miss America a lot. And then growing up, they watched a lot more of Miss Universe, Miss USA. So I really got my start within pageantry because I was able to see that pageantry gives women a voice, to be a voice for those who may feel voiceless. It acts as a microphone for you to be able to use your voice and help create change in our society. And so seeing that these girls represent so much more than just beauty, which is like the typical stereotype to get up on there and parade in a beautiful dress and win a crown, it's so much more than that. It's about bringing awareness to particular issues that's going on in our world. So for me personally, that meant a lot, and I'm all about being a role model for others. And I started working with an organization called the Matthew Silverman Memorial Foundation, which teaches just a lot of young people and just people in general to never make a temporary decision permanent. Created the kindness wall here at Beverly to spread more kindness. And so,
wow.
Yeah, so I got started within pageantry after just learning more about what these girls stand for. My mom and my grandmother have really inspired me to get started in it.
Before that, I never knew what pageantry was really like because I've seen, I forgot the name of the movie with Sandra Bullock, but she plays the FBI agent. She goes undercover for pageantry, and they would say these lines like, and I think it was like more world peace, but I never understood it. But I'm very happy to hear what it stands for, how it gives women a voice, because I do understand that in the past, even to this day, how women have been mistreated. And I'm just thinking, like, as men, we need to be a better role model and just be more polite and kind and open to women. Just give them more opportunities and better equality.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that movie. I feel like a lot of people, if you don't know about pageantry, it's really easy to refer to the movies or to refer to something else that you may have seen that doesn't really represent the full representation of pageantry. So I think just being able to represent that, it's so much more than just getting up on a stage, and it's about using your voice to spread a message is something that I love about it.
I'm glad. And when you entered, what was your favorite memory from KBEV?
There was a lot of memories from KBEV. There was a lot of memories from KBEV. That's a great question. I know for one of my really favorite memories from KBEV is being able to take on a lead anchor my freshman year, because that is what really transitioned into me becoming head anchor. Like I said, never thought I would do anything in relation to journalism, never thought I would learn how to read a teleprompter or anything of that sort. And just becoming a lead anchor and Mr. Carey seeing my potential from the start was such an amazing experience. And then going further, I've had some other experiences here. Like we got gold, I believe it was, or gold at regionals, and then it was silver at state within the Skills USA competition. And yeah, I don't know, there's just so many amazing memories here at KBEV. Those are definitely two that really stand out to me. I think any moments before the Norman News, because we would talk and everyone would gather and it was just a fun time, and then we would lock in for when it was time to go on camera, was really fun, and it's definitely something that I won't forget.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Sounds like pure happiness. And what you just shared sounds like you mentioned some of your accomplishments as well, or what you've achieved. So tell me about your accomplishments from high school, everything that you've achieved, everything you've done.
It's gonna be a little long.
Nothing wrong with that.
So for me personally, wherever I go, I like to make the most of it. So I feel like that's what I really did when I came to Beverly. The main thing I wanted to do was make the most of it. So starting off, I was involved in a lot of different clubs. I started off with By Your Side, which is a club to help special needs kids make friends. And we would meet with these kids during lunch and just help them make friends. And because a lot of times people will single them out, and everyone needs to feel included. And I think that's so important. And we would just help them realize that they are loved, and that just like us, they are human and they don't need to be treated differently just because of something that they can't control. So I was a part of By Your Side, which was an amazing club. I was also a part of DECA, which, I'm trying to remember these clubs. I was also a part of DECA, which prepares emerging leader in like business and like finance. That was an amazing experience as well. I'm trying to think within KBEV specifically. Like I said, I started off as a lead anchor my first 2 years. Then I moved up to the head anchor position. I was actually sitting in this seat, the head anchor position, for 2 more years. And I created my own show here, which at the time it was called the Alana Morgan Show. Now it's called The Undeniable Show. I also created a podcast here called Let's Talk. Within KBEV, something else that I really wanted to work on was being multifaceted in whatever I was doing. So whether I was being an anchor on the news, I also was a weather forecaster, which was an experience. And it was so much fun. Like, I truly loved it. And from there, I won the Broadcasting Award by Mr. Carey. There's so many other awards. I'm trying to remember them all. Like I said, the Kindness Wall is something that I created here. It was in honor of a teen story who was brutally murdered, and I just wanted to spread more awareness on his story for those who didn't see it on social media. What else could I say? I'm trying to think. If it comes back to me, I'll refer back to it. But there's so many different things that I've been able to do at Beverly that has really led me to the point that I'm at today.
I gotta say right now, Miss Alana, you are my hero right now.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but is that what the picture is of that kid on the kindness wall? Because I never understood why that picture was there.
Yeah, there's also there's like a little photo on the wall explaining it a little bit more. But pretty much, I heard about a teen story who was brutally murdered in the Bronx. His name was Lysandro Jr. Guzman Feliz. Nickname was Junior. And he was brutally murdered in the Bronx. I saw it on social media. It was, like I said, there was like cameras everywhere, so people pulled the cameras. It was a really, really sad story, and it really touched me. And I knew that we couldn't bring him back, but I knew that we could spread his name even more and make a difference. So I got a proclamation made in his honor with the mayor of Beverly Hills. And then I worked with the Kindness Organization and Allie Norman. I'm not sure if she still works here.
Yeah, she's still
okay.
Right there.
And Allie Norman, who works in, I forget which department she works in, but she's amazing, and she helped this Kindness Wall come to life. And so that was definitely an amazing time for me to be able to spread his story more and have people come up, write positive messages, receive these Beverly Hills Kindness pins. The mayor also gave me a Next Generation pin. So yeah, that kindness ball means a lot to me. And to see that I created that my sophomore year of high school and it's still there, it's truly means a lot.
Yeah, now the goal is that I hope more of us can really see that and just start applying that, especially with the special ed kids that you talked about, because I wasn't planning on it, but I saw these two teachers one time and they were like, you want to like help out with the special ed program, like you'd be great. And so during first period, they call it adaptive PE. I help out with those kids.
That's amazing.
And I make connections with them, and like I've made connections with the teacher aides as well, and not trying to brag, but they all love me.
No, that's amazing. Like I said, just get your foot in the door and work with as many clubs here as possible and everything. Like you said, working with kids with special needs really means a lot because oftentimes these kids already feel lonely, and so just being able to work with them and help give them a voice and everything really means a lot. And like you said, I know you mentioned you did sports here as well.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that, but I ran track here at Beverly.
Oh.
I was the varsity track captain, and I was also on the cheer team for 4 years. So
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, I've seen some of the cheerleaders. It's very impressive what they can do.
Yeah.
And then you talked about journalism. So for your career in journalism, where do you see it going within the future, especially with the evolving changes in this world, and if AI takes over?
So for me personally, where I see it going right now, I go to Loyola Marymount University, and I've been able to be a sideline reporter for LMU athletics, and I also work in connection with ESPN Plus, and I do sideline reporting there. So I've also been able to get a summer internship with Fox Sports. So I've just been able to kind of elevate it in a multitude of different ways. So I just see it further building for me, especially with my show, The Undeniable Show, which has a deeper meaning to me. I just see it continuing to grow, me continuing to interview athletes and have them share their stories, working with Fox and being able to dive deeper into that internship and continuing working with ESPN and seeing where that takes me. And like you said, if AI takes over, AI has definitely been talked about a lot. I don't feel that it would take over the broadcasting side of journalism, but like I said, never say never because things change every single day. But I just feel that I would hope AI wouldn't take over journalism, or at least the broadcast side of journalism, because journalism gives anchors the ability to be able to share what is going on in the world and share awareness to like current events and current issues. So I think having a human express that is very important.
And there's still a lot more to AI that I myself don't really understand. But what I do understand, or what I hope, is that AI can help with mundane tasks, like tasks that aren't the most exciting, because life is really hard, like especially as an adult. If you have a family, like you work 9 to 5, and then you gotta come home and you have to deal with the kids, and then you have to deal with these cleaning tasks. What if you have something like this robot that just helps you with these tasks? Not necessarily to make you lazy. I hope that's not what it does, but it would just make your life so much easier. So I just hope that AI could go into that direction. Now, on another side, I've heard that if AI takes over, we'll head into the Wall-E era. But so there's really two sides. So I don't really know which is true and like what's really gonna happen.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like AI is changing every single day. It's always up in the air on that topic.
Yeah, and then especially with ChatGPT, I don't know what your views are about it, but I get so many great answers from it. But then I've also heard from one of the teachers, it's not a great source; it's an incorrect source. So like, what do you think about that? Do you think it's true or not?
With ChatGPT, I feel like ChatGPT is kind of like a fine line, because like you said, some teachers say it's not the best source to get your information from, because some of it could be inaccurate and you're not able to completely fact check where that information is being pulled from at times. I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I do know some other people who do like ChatGPT, some people who don't like ChatGPT, and I don't know, I would just say that I think in certain aspects, ChatGPT can provide a lot of knowledge in a quicker way if you don't know about something. So I think in that way, it's continuously to change. But I guess as days go on, we'll see what happens with chat. But I don't have anything against it personally.
Yeah, me neither. So we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
And for me, as a junior who's about to graduate next year and who's about to face this world, me and all the other kids in my grade, what advice do you have for all of us for when we graduate and when we face the world? Because I've heard once high school is done, it's just a lot different in good ways and in bad ways. So what would you say to someone like me?
I would definitely say to not let everyone else's journey distract you from where you want to go. Like I said in high school, absolutely amazing time. When I graduated, I got a scholarship from one of the organizations that work with Beverly Hills High School. It was a $5,000 scholarship, and it was to help you with college. And obviously, at the time, being a senior, you're working towards college and everything else. And coming out of high school, I did not get accepted into the university that I wanted to go to. So that was kind of defeating, especially having such an amazing career within journalism and then not getting accepted, or not just journalism, but just school in general, and then not getting accepted into your dream college can be heartbreaking. It was actually LMU. I was waitlisted. I was waitlisted at first, and then I was rejected from LMU. And so from there, I went to Azusa Pacific University. Like I said, I ran track already, so I just kind of honed in more of my track skills. But some advice that I would say in relation to all of this is don't let everyone else's journey, seeing people, oh, like they're going here, or someone maybe working at this big company. Like, it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. And I think going to APU was amazing for me because, like I said, journalism-wise, I was able to get my foot in the door with print journalism, which I never thought I would do. Writing weekly news stories that get published online and then creating magazine articles was definitely something that I didn't think I would get into because I'm not much of a writer. But it was an amazing experience, and it was something that I needed to know in journalism in general because it helped me be multifaceted in different areas, and I was able to take that to LMU. So I would say to anyone like yourself or graduating students or just students currently, just don't be afraid to continue going after your journey and your dreams, no matter what it looks like. Don't be afraid to keep your foot on the gas. And what I mean by that is don't be afraid to reach out to people, asking them for opportunities. A no is just a redirection. So just don't let anything stop you, and someone else's journey is just not where you're at the moment, but it's not saying that you won't be there.
Thank you very much. That'll really help with my confidence and what to do after high school.
Yeah, of course.
And when you were a teenager, how have your accomplishments gone so far to the point that you got a letter from Barack Obama and the White House?
Yeah, that was a big one for me. I think just growing up, like I said, I've always been involved in my community. I love giving back. I love working with different organizations, and all of that led me to get that letter from Barack Obama in the White House. I went to El Rodeo Middle School, which they're currently redoing right now. But yeah. I went to El Rodeo, and in El Rodeo is when I started my journey in pageantry, and in pageantry is where I was able to become connected with community organizations and giving back. And my hours of community service is what led me to be recognized by Barack Obama in the White House. So that was really a special moment, and how I got there, like I said, was through pageantry, because I became aware of different issues going on in our society, ways in which I can be at the forefront of those issues, and that's what led me to get recognized by Barack Obama in the White House because of my hours of community service, which meant a lot.
And I gotta say, with all the stuff that you've done as you were young, you're advanced for your age group.
Thank you.
And you've just been a game changer. So what I'm curious in is what motivated you to be that game changer and to not be a typical teenager who doesn't do much, maybe just wants to be lazy, stay home, play video games.
I would definitely say there are definitely days when I'm just staying home and not doing much. So I definitely find balance between the two, just having my days where I just relax or hang out with my friends or anything like that. I think that's very, very important. But on the other side of things, of just what made me want to stay motivated, I think, and I feel that it was just remembering like where I wanted to be and knowing that I would have to start now or get my foot in the door now to reach those areas. Like I said, my role models like Zendaya really inspired me, seeing her journey and just following whoever inspired me and what led them to the point that they are today is what made me want to keep going. And just constantly remembering why I'm doing this, why I'm here. Like when you're passionate about something and you love something, it doesn't really feel like a job or anything. Like I said, I love being on camera and everything, so journalism was just a step further in that. So that's just kind of what kept me motivated and continuing to keep going, was just knowing that I was making people proud and I was making myself proud, whether it was in like acting or anything, and just continuing to do what I love is what really inspired me.
You know, you bring up a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Something I've heard is that it's important to do what you love.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do something for the money. If you do something for the money and you're miserable, the money will be there, but you're not going to be happy. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be fun. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you do something that you love, good things will come, and eventually the money will come. Even if it's not a lot of money, it's all about doing what you're passionate about. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, if you do the opposite, your life is meaningless, I feel like, or you're just existing. You're not doing the other things that you could be doing as a human, which I feel like is our goal as humans. Despite how hard it is and miserable it is sometimes, you want to leave feeling good about what it is you did and that you made the most of it and had fun.
Absolutely. That's an amazing point.
Thank you.
Of course.
And what's the hardest thing that you've dealt with in life, and how did you overcome that challenge?
Within journalism or just in...
And just in life.
I would say my journey, like I said, two things. I would say my journey throughout pageantry and then my journey within being a track athlete. So within pageantry, it was not always the easiest. Like I said, I've been able to hold amazing titles, but there's also a lot of pageants that I did not win, or I was called like a first runner-up. And as a pageant contestant, you know the feeling of being called a first runner-up. It's an amazing accomplishment, but at the same time, it's like this. You're dreading to hear your name because you just want to hear yourself as the winner. So it was really hard for me to keep going after not winning some pageants and remembering my why. That's actually why I created my show, The Undeniable Show, because there was some pageants where I'm like, okay, I could see why I didn't win it. And I didn't want that to happen anymore. I wanted to compete and know that I did everything that I could. And if I didn't win, it's just because the judges didn't see it at the time, but it wasn't because of something that I felt like I did wrong. So that's the main reason why I felt like you have to be undeniable in your field. And that was really hard for me to keep getting a runner-up in a pageant, but I just kept going, and it led me to, like I said, I was Miss Teen California, United States, and then I was Miss Teen Universe USA, competed in Dubai at Miss Teen Universe, which was a really crazy experience being in Dubai, really nice experience being in Dubai. So that was, like I said, the first part of my pageant journey was a little hard, but it was definitely a moment, and it was an amazing experience overall and continues to be an amazing experience. I also think with track, like I said, I ran track here at Beverly, and then I transitioned to running track at APU. And when I got there, I was like, this is the worst decision I could have ever made to run track in college, because everyone else, they've already established themselves years back. They've been able to PR with their times and hit personal records, and then I'm just coming in from high school. Track wasn't something that I saw myself continuing to do. I just wanted to continue pursuing it. So being there the first few days or the first few weeks or the first few months and not seeing the results that I wanted, or just seeing everyone else be able to have stronger skills, was hard for me. But I think I was able to overcome that as well in my last year running track.
And I forgot to ask you about this. You talked about why you named your show Undeniable. Mm-hmm. What was the other title that you changed, though? You said it went from the Alana Morgan Show until something else. What was that title?
It was the Alana Morgan Show to the Undeniable Show.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I changed it because I like the Alana Morgan Show, but then when I kind of found the word undeniable, my mom was like, you have to be undeniable within pageantry. I was like, undeniable. And that's when I was like, okay, this should be the name of my show, because I can resonate with the word a lot. It was actually, it was an essay that I wrote about when I transferred to LMU as well. So
Oh.
yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of stuff that you've talked about that's important, but what's the most important thing that you've learned in life? Like number one most important thing?
There's so many. Number one.
Yeah.
I feel like the number one important lesson that I learned in life is the importance of kindness and establishing connections. I think it's so important to realize like everyone is human, and it's very important to treat others the way that you want to be treated, because connections run very deep, and the person you can be hurting today could also be the same person that could be your hiring manager in like 10 years, 20 years, and you want to go back and renege on what you said, but at that point words hurt and it's too late. So I think learning just in life, like just from personally feeling the impact of words, knowing how much words affect others, and that is something that I tell other people, like learn that your words mean a lot and you don't know like how it can have an effect on someone's day. So just the importance of being kind to others and watching what you say and establishing connections, because like I said, connections also get you really far.
Yeah, and it reminds me of this story. I want to share this with the audience to send a message out there. So I was walking home one day from eating out at a restaurant. I had $6 in my wallet, and I run into a homeless man. He's like, "Do you have any money?" And then I'm like, "How much do you need?" And he's like, $100. And I said, "I'm sorry, I don't have $100. I only have $6." And he's like, "Whatever you have, man, that'll be enough." So I take out the money and I hand it to him, and I tell him, "Stay safe, brother." And then he's like, "Thank you, man." And what was going on in my head as I made the choice that I made, I'm thinking, on one side, I really want to keep this $6. I could use it for something that I would enjoy, like a treat or just anything else. But on another side, here's this man who is not as fortunate as I am. He's in need of something. Let me help this man out, because I want to make a difference within people's lives by just being kind to them and just treating them the way I would want to be treated myself, no matter their circumstance or who they are. And because good things will come to you. I believe in karma. What comes around goes around. And I don't specifically do it just because of the reward. I do it because this is how I really want to be, and this is how we should all be to make the world a better place. So I feel like with both of our messages, stay kind and treat others the way you would want to be treated.
Absolutely.
Well, it was a pleasure having you, Miss Alana Morgan.
Thank you so much for having me back. It's like I said, I was sitting at this desk. It's crazy. Thank you so much for having me back. It means a lot.
Of course.
I'm excited to see your journey within journalism or whatever you want to do.
Thank you.
Of course.
And thanks for staying tapped in for the Amado Lucero show. I'll see you next time.